Alrighty, welcome to Twisted Glass Productions. This is our fourth podcast. We don't have Howie with us today, but we do have Travis. This is John speaking.
Austin, as usual.
This is Travis.
And that's Travis,
That's
the
me.
one. That's the guy that just spoke. Today's subject, we're going to go based off of a little bit of something that's less depressing. Because the last few times we've been getting into these tangents about just really depressing shit, and it's really fucking getting everybody down, so... And apologies for not making or uploading anything for a really long time. We're going to talk about music, video games, just pop culture that we like, just in general.
What? Do you say fuck-sickles or fudge-sickles?
Fuck signals?
Fudge sickles.
Fudge sickles.
Yeah, fudge.
I heard fuck-sickles.
No, I said fudge sickles.
Okay.
You can play it back and it'll be fudge sickles. Roll tape.
Roll the tape? We have it on tape.
I honestly heard fuck signals. Like fuck signals.
Like you're signaling the fuck?
Yeah, signaling to have the sex.
Okay.
To make thick in the warm, like they say
God damn it, Big Mouth.
in
Well,
Big Mouth.
Definitely, it's not a fudge sickle if it's not thick. Like when it's like that runny, icy kind of ice cream. That's like ice, like water and chocolate mixed together, like chocolate water that's frozen, rather than like an actual chocolate ice cream
Very true.
on a stick.
Yeah.
Kind of like Frosty.
And Frosty.
Mm.
But Frosties are good with fries.
Yeah.
I've
I never just get a Frosty.
Yeah, dude, right? It's like
I
always like the
never-
fries.
I always get it with the
Yeah,
fries, and
yeah.
if I'm out of fries, I don't finish the Frosty. I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah, I can
You-
eat some
you
of
don't
it, but dude, I don't ever like finish a Frosty unless I have fries. That's weird.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
weird.
Because we're white.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm weirded out by that because like ice cream is delicious and fries are delicious, so I'll eat all of it.
But you also don't mix your foods, which is weird.
I don't really mix a lot
I
of my
bet
foods.
you if we put hot Cheetos and cheese on it, you eat it.
Well, that's fine. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's normal.
I'm done like a
shit.
normal dinner. Like he'll eat like item by item. It's weird.
I like so they can't touch.
No,
Well,
they
we
can
can
touch, but I just
But he'll
don't
eat,
eat
like,
one item
item
at a
by item.
time.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
I always do that too. Like I just
I
like
don't.
it's
I
like
everything.
compartmentalizing your meal, like kind of almost like it's
Nah,
like
man.
it's kind of like layering it in your stomach, even
It's
though they
like-
all go the same spot. It's like
It's all going the same place. Just put it all
Yeah.
on the fork.
It grosses me out. On the subject of food, it grosses me the fuck out when someone's eating something and then they take their drink of whatever they're drinking and take a drink out of it while
The
they
food
have
in the
food in
mouth.
their mouth.
Uh-huh.
That grosses me out to no extent.
So you hate going out and eating with me then?
I don't ever pay attention because I'm eating my food.
Yeah.
there's
I
like
always do that.
Dr.
If there's-
Pepper goes with everything.
If there's
so
food in my
it's
mouth, I'll
just-
take a drink, whatever. I don't give a shit.
And then if you guys hear pounding in the background, it's because our upstairs neighbors are pieces of shit and they like to be
Yeah.
really loud.
And we're recording at another location.
And we're at another location than where we usually are because they're busy as shit. Hannah and Miles are both really busy. Whoops. Howie and Miles are both really busy at the moment, so they've been dealing with some family shit. They've been
Yeah,
dealing
just
with a whole bunch
censor
of
it.
stuff.
Beep it
Yeah.
out.
Right,
Yeah, just beep it out.
right at the end.
Boop shawoop doop doop doop.
So music, what kind of shit have you guys been listening to? And this
What's
is
been my jam for a few months is whatchamacallit.
Wilson.
Wilson, yes, that's one of them. The other one is Ice Nine Kills, The Silver Scream. All the songs, horror movies and stuff like that. Fucking awesome. All their videos for the songs incorporate the horror movie.
That they're after.
Yeah, like they've done a Nightmare on Elm Street one. They've done
Friday the
Friday
13th.
the 13th. They've done Halloween. I think they've done a Crow one. And I think they're doing another one, or they did another one and I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
One of those options.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
like
but
bounce
Jaws
around.
are-
A lot of old music, and then some new ones. Like one that I've been, just loving for the last few months is the Orwells.
Never
They're
heard of them.
dope.
I don't know what that means.
What kind of genres are you? Well, what genre is that?
It's kind of like alternative rock
Okay.
around that area. Yeah, it's definitely probably all around alt rock. And then I know there's one other one that is just like awesome. If I can find it.
Go to like recently listened or some shit.
Yeah.
Mine's been all over the place. I'll let Travis find out whatever he's looking for over there. But Ghost Key. That's Ghost Key. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're like a screamo. They're like new age screamo, so like metalcore basically.
Yeah.
They got a lot of stuff going on with their music. It's very heavy, very melancholy, and it's very in that time over the last couple of months, over the last month really, it's been really helpful. And then that album specifically is called, that I've been listening to, is called See This Through. So it's kind of a whole story from beginning to end of just people, or the person, or them as a band, or people in general just trying to live their best life the way that they can, no matter the struggles and shit. If they get super depressed, you don't have to kill yourself over stupid shit. Like,
yeah,
basically, life is you're gonna give people something in return. You're gonna get something in return, in that aspect. So you don't have to be as depressed as you seem it. Like, it's not as bad as you think it is, type of thing. And there's other people who've gone through worse and still will rough it through and that type of stuff. Holy Hell by Architects has been a really good album.
It's a fucking heavy album.
It's
in the sense of, like, emotional.
It's an emotional album because one of their bandmates passed away a year ago or something like cancer. That, from a type of leukemia, I think is it, or something. Yeah. Cancer in general. And it's just the grieving process that they're going through, and this is the last album that they're going to do that's in the thought of him. There was all our gods have abandoned us, and like Holy Hell are kind of like to me, it seems like it's the black and the white of life and death.
Yeah.
And like things that are, the shitty things that are happening in the world is like all our gods have abandoned us, and like Holy Hell is just you dealing with the emotional turmoil of your best friend or brother or sibling or family member dying, and understanding that like this life is only the life we have. Yeah. Type of shit. And that's been some heavy shit that I've been listening to. Slipknot's All Out Life has been my jam. Yes. I've listened to it for like so many times I can't even understand.
Did they come out with new material?
They just came out with a new song last month.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, I did not know.
It's dope.
It's old Slipknot. Like it sounds like the like first
early
album.
2000s.
Yeah, we'll show you after the podcast so we don't get sued.
Yeah. Or they might like it. Who knows? But it's very.
Yeah, not saying Slipknot would sue, but I'm just saying copyright.
Right. Mm-hmm. Roadrunner Records is who would probably get mad about it more than them. Yeah. But it's a really good song, like, and it sucks because now we have to wait until after January to hear if they're going to come out with another song, or if they're going to just drop an album, and when they're going to drop the next album. But there is a works and out for them to come out with an album in 2019. They start recording in January. So that's my favorite band personally, and I'm just super hyped. Anything else that you've been listening to?
My favorite new band that I found, like they formed like 2017, is Wallows. So WALLOWS. Freaking sick. Like all their songs are just killer. Like different kind of styles and sound. Like one of them almost sounds like an Arctic Monkeys style song. Okay. And that just love it. And I only found out like maybe a month and a half ago because I heard them like way back in like I want to say like February or March or something like that. So when I heard like their like first song, which is called I think it was Uncomfortable is what it's called. That's the one that sounds almost like an Arctic Monkeys song. And so just like a month and a half ago, like when I was reading some bio on them, like so apparently one of the members of it is like the starring role in 13 Reasons Why, like the guy. It's his band apparently, or like him and two of his friends or three of his friends, something like that. But so he's in that band, and I was just like, what the heck? I haven't even seen the show, but I know of it, so I was like a little surprised that he had a band. I was like, that's pretty sweet because his band is awesome.
I've never seen a single episode of 13 Reasons Why.
Neither have I.
Yeah, but you know I want to watch it. You've heard of it, like it's all over.
I was waiting for the hype to die down before I watched it, which the hype is pretty much dead now, so I can watch it and check it out.
Kind of how I felt whenever I was watching. I just forgot the name of it.
Stranger Things.
Yes, Stranger Things. You knew exactly where I was going.
Yeah, it's just like another.
But Stranger Things deserves the hype.
I know, but I mean, it's like some people. There's that talk, and we're gonna probably go bounce back and forth between subjects, but like with Stranger Things,
as we do,
yeah, Stranger Things specifically is one of those things that like either everybody fucking hates it or everybody loves it, and there's no in between of just like and the people who love the shit out of it are obviously over the age of 25. And then the people who are like in just angry, just balls of flesh at that TV show are just young, like before the age of 25 and younger. Yeah, they just don't understand it.
Yeah, they're just like some of them might be like, oh, it's good, but they don't really get like why they totally don't like it or like it's nostalgia for one.
Yeah, like the new Halloween movie, like all the older demographic fucking loved it. Then everybody younger was like, this is bullshit.
This is boring, and it's like it's not boring. It's just that you don't have
a horror movie.
A concept of what
a just gore. Yes,
it's like it's thriller. It's supposed to be a thriller, which Halloween was.
It's supposed to fuck with your head.
Yeah, like it's psychological. Like there's a psychological thriller, and then there's gore. When they came out with the newer version of, I remember talking about this in film school, is that like the difference between Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out in the 70s and Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out in the 2000s. The main difference is that in the 2000s version, they showed the gory shit. They showed all the shit of him getting put, one of the fucking teenagers getting put on a hook, and it's stabbing through him, and them showing the blood and showing everything happening, him twitching, like up, showing his face and all that shit, and showing Leatherface getting covered in blood. And then in the old one, you just saw his foot twitch whenever he got put on a hook, and that's it. Like you saw the kid's leg twitching, and then you knew, like, in your mind you had to come up with whatever graphic shit in your head, the worst thing or the best thing that you can think of to happen to the kid. Was it a fast death? Was it a slow death? Was that twitching because he was dying? Is it because now he's just paralyzed, or is he, what's going on? And in the newer one, they're just boom, here's how he dies, and he is actually dead, like that type of shit. But that's just movies and TV shows in general.
And me and John, I downloaded a couple songs, but John downloaded the entire album of the music from Drake and Josh.
Yep.
So that's happening because I found out it was on Apple Music, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Seriously? Is it just under like Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
It's Drake and Josh's like whole TV show soundtrack.
I just have two of the songs. The theme song and Highway to Nowhere.
Oh, you should like.
But the full album.
Like you're just like, we just got like shot in the dark.
They got like Relent K on that and stuff, so they got like some pop punk bands from back in the 2000s on it.
Oh, they got Relent K on
down.
Yeah.
And John found out that we've all been singing the theme song to Drake and Josh wrong for years. For fucking years. You know, in the chorus, it's like, how's it go?
I'll be there for
That's
you.
Friends.
That's Friends.
What was it? It'll take some time to
realign.
It's realign.
Not
and everybody
realize.
thought it was realize.
Because
the way he sings it.
Oh yeah.
Drake was like playing a show, and he's like, "Hold up, you guys have sing this wrong, and it's this."
He's like, you guys have been singing this wrong for years. I'm going to play this song as long as you sing it correctly. Like, he did a show. He still does music. Drake does. Drake Bell. And he was doing a show in some bar. And he's like, I get it. Like, all of you guys are over the age of 21. And you guys grew up with this show. But I'm going to have to just be completely straightforward with you guys. You guys have been fucking singing it wrong for so many fucking years. Can we get this shit together, please? Now, here's the real lyrics, and everyone's like, oh my god. And he's like, they have been those lyrics forever. It makes no sense for it to be realize. It makes sense for it to be realign. Because we're brothers from two different families having to come together and realign our beliefs. Do you guys get it now? And everyone's kind of like, oh.
I've been lied to.
You know, that makes a lot more sense. I just sang the lyrics. I never really thought about what they meant.
Yeah, and it was just whole bullshit.
And the lead singer from Skillet, he has a new band out.
I don't like it.
I do. I dig it.
Can't stand it. It's like watered down.
Is it because they stole Slipknot riff?
Kind of. No, not even that, but they sound like a watered down version of that band.
Yeah, that was kind of the point.
And it's
he was like, here's for the fans that like the heavier side of Skillet.
But it just sounds like just...
And even in the description, it's like, they sound like Slipknot.
They sound... The thing that just bothers me is because Skillet, within themselves, they have like maybe 3 good songs, just in general, out of their whole entire discography for me personally. And then...
Which ones?
I couldn't even name them. I would have to listen
Is Monster one of them?
They're iffy. That's kind of like in the background music.
I like Monster. Monster's great.
But like a lot of Skillet's music really, really annoyed me because they push that. They're on that boundary of like not knowing if they're gonna just go full Christian or if they're not gonna go they're gonna go straight secular with their music.
Homie was a pastor.
I know, but it's just they don't choose. They don't choose which way they're gonna go. And at least like Flyleaf and shit back in the day, they were like, we're a spiritual band. We're gonna sing about God and shit. So deal with it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, we don't care. So that's the type of shit. Skillet's a weird band for me.
Yeah. Another band I like is Pele Royale. They're super dope. I think you might like them. They're super like kind of weird, dancey, kind of rock, bumping kind of stuff.
Like pop rock?
Kind of pop rock. Like I'll show you them as well. And the lead singer of that band is the one who sang for Andy in American Satan. Because Andy couldn't sing because contractual obligations. And stuff like that. And Drake Bell was in American Satan. And he was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
In that movie.
He dies.
Spoiler, he dies.
Today.
Greta Van Fleet. If you like...
I read a very accurate review, which is like...
If you like
praising them, but then also just kind of being like, they're just a knockoff. And it's like the way that he wrote the review is way more elegant, way more detailed, but it's like, I mean, that's accurate. They're definitely fun to listen to, but I definitely get like, it's all you're buying into is like nostalgia. So I definitely get that.
It's just straight up Led Zeppelin for the 21st century.
Yeah, because it's even they go so far as like the outfits too. They dress up like they're from the 60s, which it's like 60s and
okay,
70s. You didn't have to do that.
No, but they did.
Yeah.
And then they try to play it off. The thing kind of pisses me off about them is that they try to play off on this whole entire aspect of they never knew who they were.
That's just like you should just accept that it's all that you're just like a new you're basically a new cover band of Led Zeppelin that made original music.
Yeah,
that's all. Just be accepting of it. Be like, yeah, we realize we sound like it, but hey, we're doing our own thing now. Yeah. And then just be like, yeah.
Then I probably won't like them because I'm not a fan of Zepp.
Yeah, they're not for everybody. They're for the old.
And like I respect Zeppelin and all them. I'm just not a fan of their music.
Ooh, High on Fire has a new album, newish album. Rise of the North Star is a new band that was discovered, which was pretty cool. Anime and new metal is basically what they fall under.
And they're like from some weird back-ass country in Germany.
Yeah. And then Saliva has a new album.
Really?
Yeah.
They're still a thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's called 10 Lives. Started re-listening to 12 Stones.
Yeah, 12 Stones is dope.
They have some really good shit. But, see, there's a difference. Is that for them... They were open about a lot of their shit, and they didn't try to cover up what it was, but they also don't sound like they're just regular, just Christian music.
Yeah.
As well. And it fits the time that they came out, so like the mid-2000s and shit that they came out, so that's pretty cool. The Browning has a new album called Geist. That's pretty cool. They're trance music with metalcore. So trance and like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like deathcore type shit. It's pretty cool. Currents. Whitechapel has a new song out. All That Remains has a new album. And Born of Osiris has a new album coming out soon.
Born of Osiris.
Black Tongue has a new album. I Am has a new album. Body Snatcher has a new album. Bloodbath has a new album. Death metal, deathcore, that type of shit. Arsis, death metal, deathcore. They have a new album out. Defleshed and Gutted has a new album, which is like slam metal.
But are they slamming brutal deathcore?
Almost, yeah. Before I Turn is a really cool band. Rediscovered them. They've been around for a couple of years. They do hardcore, metalcore type stuff, and they have kind of the subject matter of like zombies and like undead, and then like apocalyptic type shit, basically. Omega Virus. Alien type shit. Idiar's Murder has a new song called Death Perception.
Yeah.
Which is really dope.
Have you decided how you feel about Atreyu's album yet?
New album for Atreyu is very rock poppy. I'm okay with it. Like, I have to be in the mood to listen to it. It's not going to be like their Long Live album where I'm going to sit there and listen to it every single day. Yeah. But it's an Atreyu album. It's there. It's not something that I would say is their best work in my opinion. Because I have an attachment to the shit that came out in the early 2000s. Like, in all honesty, like Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses, The Curse, A Death Grip on Yesterday, and then, like, all those. Yeah. Mostly. And then when they left Victory Records, they did their last album as part of their contract to be a greatest hits album.
Yeah.
And then they went over to they went to Hollywood Records and they released Lead Sails Paper Anchor. Then that wasn't that great because it was really poppy and really like 90s hair metal. Like hair metal bands making music in the 90s.
Yeah, when they tried to do grunge.
Kinda, but it was more hair metal style,
yeah.
like 80s metal and shit. And then they came back with Congregation of the Damned, and then it was Long Live was their big comeback because it was very hardcore oriented. And you could tell which band members want to make what music, so they give everybody the chance to do whatever album they want to do. And this one was very, very this album that was out by Atreyu was very influenced by what like the drummer and the two guitarists and the bassist wanted to do, and not with the vocalist, because the last album was the very vocalist oriented album where it was very hardcore oriented and very little singing type of shit. So it's cool. I'm okay with it. It's just not going to be something that's going to be on heavy rotation like Slipknot's next album would be.
Yeah. Papa Roach is going to drop a new album.
Yep.
Excited about that because I love Papa Roach. They still say they should have called it Fixed Teeth.
What's the new album going to be called?
Who Do You Trust is the name of the new album and the name of the first single they dropped. They have 2 more singles.
Like, who do you trust?
Yeah, and it's also the theme for SmackDown now? I think it's SmackDown.
I'm not sure.
It might be it's SmackDown. It's the theme for either Raw or SmackDown right now. And then they have Renegade Music and Not the Only One as the other 2 singles that have dropped so far.
Super hyped for the new Whitechapel album, though. That Whitechapel album is going to be brutal as shit.
Is it going to be brutal as shit?
Well, that would just not be cool. I mean, it's called Whitechapel. It makes it sound innocent, angelic. So it's like, oh, that's just pretty, and then just like aggressive, like blood just everywhere.
Well, they're one of those
named after the city where Jack the Ripper sounds majestic to you.
Yeah, that's where they got that's where they got their name. And the cool thing about Whitechapel though is that they're one of those bands that have been around for like.
I didn't realize that. Now that I know that, yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense.
They're a deathcore band. They're one of the like first deathcore bands that came out. Though I think personally, deathcore stretches back a little bit further back than what people think.
Yeah.
In terms of a genre, and deathcore is not like bitch death metal in my opinion. It's more like the fusion genre of like death metal and hardcore music, which is what metalcore is, heavy metal and hardcore music. It's hardcore is a very distinctive sound when you hear it, and a lot of people don't like it, but when you mix it with another genre, people love it, the shit out of it, because it's blast beats, it's heavy, it's very aggressive, it's never anything that's positive in any aspect, which very true. The somatic defilement, that doesn't sound like something that's going to be very positive in any aspect. Ear to ear song names that they have, like This Is Exile, one of their big songs that they have, their biggest of any, is just the world is shit type of music, and that's what it feels like they're gonna do again with this next album, because their last album had some decent clean singing by Phil Bozeman, who is the vocalist, who is like a fucking 5 foot nothing guy with a big voice. So
yeah, who's a super dope dude,
and he's a nice guy, and he just deathcore, death metal. That's what they do. Yeah.
And then Wage War. There's a band we found earlier last month.
A couple months ago, actually. They're pretty dope.
Main reason I got into them is because of that one breakdown.
Yeah.
Because like in metalcore and deathcore and shit, it's very common for a vocalist before I break down to go bleh, and in this one he starts fucking just coughing and then does the bleh, so it sounds awesome. And makes sense, like he's hacking up some fucking shit. I was like, that's dope.
But they're pretty cool too. I like lyrical content in music too. So hip hop is another thing that I listen to a lot.
Yeah, it's like some songs, like even if like there's something with the music I don't like, if the lyrics are just like killer, I just love listening to that part.
Yeah.
But then there's just songs that just sound so good musically that I don't care about the lyrics.
Yeah, there's both sides to music.
But my favorite ones are obviously where the lyrics are awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's usually what you align to.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
That's true. Yeah, that's usually what you kind of put your taste towards.
Or what agrees with your beliefs is what it's going to boil down to in a really very simplistic way. Is that if you've never had a breakup, you're never going to really relate to that type of shit whenever it comes to music. But if you've had a horrible breakup, or you've dealt with like fucking people in life dying, it's gonna happen. You're gonna align with those other those musicians who wrote that type of shit.
Exactamundo, my good sir.
I mean, it's just how life is. It's weird. Like, you can come together with music, or you can be completely repelled by a person because of the music they listen to.
That's probably why I don't really care for that song Baby Shark, because I've just never hung out with a family of sharks.
And neither have I.
And nor have I
I don't.
either.
Exactly.
That song doesn't annoy me because I'd never known about it until it started annoying people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw like a meme on it, and I was all, "What is
I was
this?"
like, "This is fucking stupid."
Yeah, I was like, "I don't get this." And then I had to Google it. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then it's like, "Oh, it's a song."
It's for kids,
and it's got like 2 billion views or something crazy. Like,
well, it's
insane.
It's not only that, but they started doing different types and different covers of it. So like, there's a mariachi cover of it. There's a fucking death metal cover of it.
Speaking of children's music, though,
so maybe I'll identify with it.
I have a bone to pick with you, John. I fucking hate you.
Why?
So you remember that video you showed me a while back that fucked you up about that kid? What was it, Johnny?
Yeah.
That video? You remember that video?
Yeah.
And what happens in that video?
Yeah.
Well, I was hanging out with my nephew, who's like 2.5 going on 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he's discovered YouTube on the phone.
Yeah.
Knows how to work it like a boss, right? Watches just videos all day. Usually in different languages, which is weird.
He doesn't give a shit. You know, he's not going to understand
like,
he was watching one, and it was that song.
Johnny.
Yes. And I'm trying to be like, this is my nephew, this is innocent and stuff, and then that fucking video just popped in my head, and I had to walk the fuck out of the room.
So I was on Twitter. Let me give you a backstory. I was on Twitter, and I go on Twitter a lot, and people share shit, and it's not like on Facebook where it censors the shit. So like,
was it more on like Reddit's side?
It was more on like it was both. It was a little bit of both. So like, you know how on Facebook it gives you that uncover if you want to watch this video, but on Reddit it's just like,
here's the video.
Here's the shit. Well, I didn't know this, and I had to show him because it scarred the fuck out of me.
He had to show me.
Because I was sitting there and I was on Twitter.
Share with friends.
I was like, "What's this?" And it was like Johnny, and it went through the whole bit, but it was a fucking gay porn getting his dick fucking sucked because of the and
open your mouth.
Open your mouth.
And then just hard cuts to just fucking hard dick sucking.
Him deep throating. And,
well, some people might enjoy it. It might not be too scarring.
And I was like, It
scarred me and came back to haunt me when I'm trying to hang out with my nephew.
It wasn't like intentional because it was something that someone else shared.
Uninvited dick pics, maybe.
Right.
Austin.
Hey, they're not uninvited. There was warnings.
I said no.
You raped me with your dick pics.
That was just funny.
But that was.
Then you found out you actually blocked me. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. Twitter's a bastard sometimes.
Twitter can fuck you up, man. Because you're like, not going to Twitter to look for this stuff. And then it just happens to pop up.
It does.
And John, you're looking intently at your computer. What's happening?
I'm looking at the time. That's all.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, but bringing it back to what you were talking about, how you like identify with like, you know, things that happen in your life and music and stuff like that. There's a band that I really want to heavily recommend called Prison. And their entire thing is dealing with, you know, your various amounts of mental issues, whether it's, you know, schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, whatever have you, right? And each song is about dealing with that. And the vocalist, Johnny, he tried a bunch of different treatments and stuff like that. And now he just handles it on his own. He doesn't really take medications. To my knowledge, I think that's where he is now in his life. And he's a super cool dude to talk to and everything like that. And we're going to do a deeper dive on their music on this channel. Either I'm going to do it solo or John's going to join me or whatever. And they're a really dope band. They're super heavy. It's like a good mixture of what I would say, deathcore, new metal.
New deathcore, I guess is the best way to put it. There's like a couple of other bands that are like that, but they're very heavy.
Very heavy. Compared
to some of the other stuff. There's been a resurgence, I've noticed, with music in at least the scene that I'm used to being a part of, which, like, new metal itself was big in the 2000s when we were growing up. All of us were growing up.
Yeah.
But, like, Travis and I are close in age by, I don't know, months to a year?
Yeah, like a year and a couple months.
A year or so?
Yeah.
So, with
like a year.
Yeah, so like with the stuff that happened in the 2000s with like when everything started blowing up from the late 90s to that time, it was this, Slipknot, Korn, Disturbed, fucking, who am I missing? Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I remember. I think I was in like
Rage Against the Machine.
I want to say I was in middle school when like wow.
Yeah.
I freaking Disturbed when they came on the scene.
With Down with the Sickness and
dude.
stuff like that. And
I just remember just being a little kid and just like hearing that, just like that was something that you could just like sing with it and stuff like that. She didn't have to do it well or anything. It was just more just attitude.
Yeah.
So it was pretty sweet.
And it's interesting.
And that was like when Marilyn Manson like took off and
got
all that
bigger.
stuff. Yeah. So I remember my brother, he was like kind of part of that goth grade. He was like, grade above me. So I think I was like 5th grade when that started taking off. Like he was in middle school, so he was, an adult at that point. Getting into the hardcore music, cutting the holes in your like hoodie sleeves so you can stick your thumb through it.
I did that, yeah.
And then after they actually started making hoodies with the thumb holes,
so
that kids could just do it.
Yeah,
I never got one, man. So I just kept cutting holes in my shit.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, man. It's like
it's a DIY thing. It's kind of like an ode to the punk thing.
Yeah.
Where like all the goth shit and all the metal shit that happened around that time was just everything is it's weird because everything is an ode to what punks used to do.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and not like crust punks, but like punks in general. That DIY.
Yeah.
Like, do it yourself, make your own shit, make your own merch, do whatever it is that you want to do.
It's like the thing where they started selling pants with the holes.
Exactly.
So it's like, nah, I make my own. Like, come on, man.
Because there was a, like, trip pants.
Yeah.
You remember when trip pants were huge? I remember being a kid and watching people have those, and I'm like, I want a pair of those.
The Hardys, man.
They had trip pants, they had the Janko jeans, yeah. And that's all a part of the culture. And it goes back to that whole like new metal aspect of how everybody wanted to wear like baggy clothes, be like Deftones and Korn looking like hip hop heads but playing rock and metal music. It was just different. And that's kind of what's happening again.
Yeah.
Dropout Kings. If you've never heard their music, I recommend it if you like that style. If you like the Limp Bizkit, like old Linkin Park sound and all that stuff. They're very aggressive, but they're very fun to listen to.
Yeah.
And they're potheads, so that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. With that. And then Prison. Anyway, going with Prison, they're one of those bands that they have a lot of... It's a lot of information in terms of like how you're going to deal with your own mental stability. Yeah. And how you're going to get better. Are you going to want to do it the traditional way? Cool. If it helps you, it helps you. Yeah. Or you could do alternatives, like he has that text messaging service that he started.
Cope Notes. You subscribe to it, and once a day it sends you like a inspirational text every day.
And it gets you through your week. And there's a subscription, obviously. It's not free. But it's one of those things where like if you're willing to pay for that, are you willing to do that and have that service to help you get better? If that's what you need because someone in your life isn't doing that type of shit or you don't have that support group, then that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And he's just, like I say, super cool guy. And they usually do a lot of... they've done a couple live streams where there's answering questions and stuff like that. I got to talk to him on the live stream. I've talked to him a little bit personally. He's a really cool dude. The band's really awesome. They handle the mental issues. They also handle like societal issues and stuff like that, like the song "Rape Me." Not really about a mental issue, just more of a keep your dick and shit to yourself. Yeah, like your dick to yourself and keep your vagina to yourself. Because dudes and chicks can get raped. It's just that kind of thing. And
dudes and chicks can rape.
Yes,
both can. It's not. It's really, I don't know. Like there's this whole double standard when it comes to it because it's like men can't get raped, and I was like, I mean, they can be sodomized. There's that. That's penetration. Raping. That's raping. If they're not willing for it, if they're not asking for it, if they're not into that type of thing. But they can also get raped with, like, a female. Can make a man just be erect and not want it. And it's not because they're attracted to them. It's just because there's fucking certain things that can happen. Stimulation is a thing. And it just can. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, vibrators do weird things to a man's butt.
Vibrators do a weird thing to that little fucking thing that's connected to your ball sack.
Or if you have a clip dick, you can stimulate your frenulum.
Yeah. I mean, that still exists when you're not cut. So
yeah, I know, but it's more accessible when you're cut.
Yeah, but
You uncut motherfucker.
Circumcision and non-circumcision. Whatever.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
Life does go on. And John, we can fix you.
We can.
We can.
Eventually.
I can do it right now.
No.
Live on the air.
Get the fuck away from me with those scissors.
It'll be a podcast first. Think of the views.
Yeah, you gotta heat them up.
Think of the views. There's no view. It's just listening.
Think of the listens. Right? The millions of listens that could happen listening to a man get forcefully circumcised on the air.
Again, we're going back to the whole song idea of how
I'm not raping you, all right? And just it's not even a diddle. It's mutilation.
That's still
right.
fucked up. As all of the music that I listen to is mostly just really fucked up shit.
Yes.
TV. Anybody watching any good like TV shows? I know we talked about Big Mouth for a bit.
Big Mouth. As far as like TV, not really, not right now. I gave the Mayans a chance, and I can't click with it.
No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's
weird.
I was really liking Peaky Blinders until like the later season. I can't remember where I stopped, whether it was in the 3rd or 4th season, but I really liked it, like the first 2 seasons, and then it kind of just lost its
what's it called?
direction or feel. Like it's called Peaky Blinders. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, like the only thing
It's the gang TV
like
show
right
back in
World
like
War I,
back in the 20s and shit.
Mm-hmm.
that sounds legit.
In like England.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check it out.
It's in the UK.
Cool.
Is it a UK show or an American show based in the UK?
It's the UK show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like the seasons are like fucking 5 episodes long.
But they're like an hour and a half long for each episode.
Yeah.
So it's a
really
movie for each thing that you're watching.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you'll probably see, like, if you were watching it, like, after, like, the 2nd or somewhere in the 3rd season or something, you can kind of get where it's like, okay, it's kind of like, you kind of end the first story arc, and then it's almost like it goes into a whole nother story arc, but it just kind of loses that same kind of feel that you get from, like it loses kind of that grittiness. It just doesn't feel the same. It feels too, like, colorful.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen any of New Ruby?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
dude, I think I only watched like the first 2 seasons. I may have seen season 3. I think I watched it.
Yeah, shit is happening in a very fucked up way so far. The Ospen, you can't trust that motherfucker, man. I'll explain it, but it's
it sounds like he's evil.
He's not evil. He's not evil at all. But once you find out why he is the way he is and what he is and who they're fighting, it just blows your fucking mind. And they finally explain why the moon's all fucked up. There's a reason behind the moon.
Because he shot it with a gun?
No.
A giant...
No, like, it's not really spoiler territory because they always talk about it. There was gods on that planet. Mm-hmm. Basically, when the gods left, they took off and they shattered the moon on their exit. Because they got pissed off. Because of what happened.
Because Ospen, like, stole those snacks.
No. His love... at the time, fucked everything up for everybody. And yeah, there's like a judgment day coming and
God
shit.
damn it, Gwendolyn. What is your problem?
No, not Gwendolyn. She hasn't even been in the show.
Guinevere?
Her name's Salem. That's really fucked
I thought it was going to be like an ode to like King Arthur or something. Because, you know, Guinevere fucked Lancelot. And,
that's happening. Pretty much the only other thing I watch.
The Knights of the Round Table.
Pretty much the only thing I watch on a weekly basis is wrestling. And I reluctantly watch Raw because I know what Raw is going to be. I enjoy more watching SmackDown. Because shit's weird.
Oh, WWE?
Yeah. Because Raw's going to be the same thing every fucking week.
It's the same shit, different thing. Yeah.
Especially with Lesnar with the title. That piece of shit.
I don't like Lesnar. I don't like The Miz. I don't like that no chin fuck that's on there.
Ellsworth? He's
Ellsworth
not on there anymore.
Well, I know, because he got fucking what?
He got fired, and then he was on Independence, and I think there was like a sexual allegation against him now.
He just looks like a fucking... He looks like a Lester. He looks like a person who would just go out and just diddle the unwanted. Like, do shit to people that they just don't want, like, in the fucking...
He'd just be like, he's like, hey, I'm Goofy.
I have no chin.
And then they're just like, it's like, I guess I can't report you. And then that's where they're wrong. It's like, because you can.
Because most of the people have chins. They can easily identify.
So just because that man doesn't have a chin doesn't mean you can't report him.
And if he's in the locker room, he probably does some weird shit. I don't know. He's that dude that just does the weird shit with his dick in the fucking, like, in the locker room just because he can.
It's like Louis C.K.
Like he's Buffalo.
No,
he's Buffalo Bill or what?
Yeah, just does some weird shit.
Fuck me. Would you fuck me? Kind of shit.
That fuck me hard.
Yeah. Did I tell you that Enzo showed up to the pay per view?
Oh, Enzo Amore was in
the Survivor Series. He showed up. It was during the male match, I think. No, it's during the tag team match for the titles. He jumped up and he had his title from something or some shit. He was promoting his rap show, and he got kicked the fuck out and banned from that. He got banned from that arena. He was
making a fool of himself in the audience because he was.
And like 30 people showed up to his show.
I am Enzo Amore, and he was screaming at the top of his. I am the champ. I am the one. Yeah. He was holding his shit, and there's a guy behind him.
His whole spiel.
And there's people around him just laughing at him because nobody gave a fuck, and he couldn't run up, and he couldn't do shit. But he was there, and I guess he
never got the memo that he was like irrelevant now or something.
Right? Yeah. And then like during his show, because they shared a clip on it, because like Philip DeFranco
talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like he showed a clip about it, and there was recordings from his show. It was like 30 people there. Then during his show, he does like really shitty wrestling during his raps. It's fucking cringy to watch.
So he wrestles while rapping?
Yeah, he's rapping and he has people come on stage and he did a Stone Cold Stunner to one person, was doing like a clothesline and shit. Just all really shittily because those people don't know how to wrestle.
The thing about him though I didn't like was that he was just a fucking just piece of shit. I never liked him either. He was too cocky for his own good.
He was a great talker though. Great fucking talker. Got his ass beat a lot, but he could talk. That's what I miss about CM Punk.
He's a 4-foot troll and he ain't got class.
That's why CM Punk needs to come back. Because he can talk. But
he won't.
And wrestle. But he won't ever come back. But he might go back to
MMA.
No. Well, that too.
But 0 for 3.
But Cody Rhodes.
Keep that streak
his
undefeated. Yeah. Keep staying completely defeated. You got this.
Because Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, they're making their own wrestling company, and there's talk about them wanting to get CM Punk to come back, come wrestle for him. And Punk was like, "No, but maybe," kind of a response. And I'm like, that'd be fucking awesome, just to see CM Punk wrestle again.
I mean, it would help their promotion out big time for sure.
Exactly. It's already gonna help them enough with the Japanese crowd because it's the Bullet Club. You know what I mean?
I look forward to the next season of Stranger Things.
Yep. Big Mouth.
Big Mouth.
Final season of Game of Thrones.
Final season of Game of Thrones. Didn't watch any Game of Thrones at all during the whole 10 fucking years it's been around.
Never seen an episode. Seen all the sex scenes.
I've seen all the nude parts. Yeah.
Because Pornhub.
Have you watched all of it yet or no?
Which one?
Oh, just any of the.
No, I've never seen a single episode.
No,
just seen
so
basically,
only from watching from watching just the nude scenes, just hopefully in chronological order.
Yeah,
what can you tell me about the story?
There's a lot of tits.
There's
no. I mean, tell me the story, the narrative.
Fucking none whatsoever.
Really pale blonde lady got sold to Jason Momoa or whatever. Got forced to marry him. Mm-hmm. She hated it at first, and then liked it, and then it cut to let me think. Some naked bitch being born with dragons. That's all I can piece together from the story.
There's dragons.
And there's one dude that for some reason hates it when chicks moan. There was that one scene. He's like, "Stop it! You sound ridiculous."
Oh yeah, Baelish.
And I was like, "Fuck you, bitch."
There was a.
Then there was that one chick who just got finished blowing a dude, and she came out to hook up with another dude at a brothel, and the dude that ran the brothel wiped the cum off her face, and then she kissed the dude, and I was like, "That's fucking gross."
Dude, that's pretty accurate too. I mean, that has a lot of the French meaning and kind of lessons they're teaching you there.
Boom. See?
Never
see.
I saw all the tits.
Masturbation can teach you things.
Legitimately, only the tits is what I saw. Because there's a subreddit for show me the plot.
Did you see Jon Snow's ass?
Nope.
Because
I had not seen Jon Snow's ass.
That was pretty popular in the last season.
Mostly what they mean.
Fucking his cousin? Aren't they cousins?
Well, it's alleged, but I'm pretty sure most people believe, that they're probably related in some sense.
Yeah.
It seems pretty clear that they're more than likely related, unless they just curveball and be like, "Oh, they're really not. We had you going there,
didn't we? Haha, wink, wink."
Yeah. finger guns.
Finger guns. That's not a thing in the medieval times, but finger guns.
Finger swords.
Ah.
Ching ching.
I tricked you.
But
then,
yeah.
like, some bitch gave birth to something in a cave.
Yeah, like
with like a witch
demon thing. Yeah, like
yeah.
it kind of brought like the whole magic and demons and stuff.
Yeah, and like she was fucking somebody, and like somebody was watching, and she like stared at him as she fucked him.
What the fuck? I don't
Yeah,
fucking know
some
anything.
dude was like just skulking around the fucking caves, from what I could tell, and he looked through a hole, and she was fucking a dude, and stared at the dude watching, like, "Ha, I'm fucking this guy."
God
Correct
damn.
me if I'm wrong. Is that what happened?
I can't really exactly recall that incident, but that sounds like something that would happen.
Yeah.
But like, all I know is that there's dragons, there's a dwarf guy, there's some shit that happens, people fuck a lot, there's frost giants are there.
One of the rulers got blown by a guy.
Then, I don't even know this.
Yeah. It was part of the sex scenes. And like the blowjob sounds are really fucking not blowjob sounds. Yeah. That's what it sounds like when it's a blowjob.
I got peanut butter in my mouth.
That's what it sounds like.
They give a fucking horse peanut butter and it's just licking it off the side.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
But yeah, I've never seen a single fucking episode of that shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
Watch the compilation of Pornhub, man. You'll get some of the plot.
What's the? I don't even care. Like, I don't. George R.R. Martin, is that the guy who wrote the books?
Yeah.
He's in Santa Fe. That's where he lives.
He has another show on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, that's some new one that instead of finishing the last Game of Thrones book, he instead started writing.
Yeah.
So the show will finish before the books do. So that's why it's like, not totally confirmed if it's fucking his cousin, but it seems like it's all going that way.
Yeah.
And
it's like 90% like confirmed, but there's obviously that 10% and you just go, gotcha.
So like one
Jokes
of the
on you.
one of the weird things about him is because he's so. Everyone says he's so old, but he's like in his 80s.
Sure.
At this point, yeah. Anyway, doesn't matter. But he gave all the like information of like how the story is supposed to end, and if he dies before the last book, it's pretty much just written. All his son has to do is just fill in the fucking blanks from point A to point B, point C to all that shit all the way to
Watch
Z.
his son.
He's not much of a writer, and he just kind of basically it's like Mad Libs, and you're just like, what the.
It just replaces every gap with and then,
and
then this, and then that,
and then this happened, and then Tyrion was like, dude, that's not right.
That's
man.
whack, man.
This is how you should be running the country.
Well, his son,
Come on, Daenerys.
son's
let's go and have our picnic, and then
old
we'll
himself,
just be like, hey, John, good job. Here's a participation badge.
Yeah.
Get out.
Wasn't it like Jon Snow like died or whatever, and then he came back later on, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's alive. Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
What is the dumbest fucking movie you've ever seen? Like the worst movie?
The worst fucking movie I've ever seen?
Sharknado?
Fucking, I made it 10 minutes in, and I was done.
No, I'm saying like, what was the worst movie you've seen from beginning to end? Let me rephrase.
That's tough.
That's hard to... Anything after Scary Movie 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scary Movie 3 itself
5
was
was
tough
dog
to
shit.
get through. Same.
5 was dog
bad.
shit.
I don't even know there was a 5.
Yeah.
There's a
the opening scene's
sixth one?
Snoop Dogg and Mac Miller in a fucking cabin. They find the two little girls from Mama. Ashley Tisdale's in it. She has fake tattoos that they take off in the movie.
That's just weird.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie at all.
The worst movie I've seen all the way through.
And not like The Room is bad, but it's good because it's bad, and it's bad because it's good.
Eight-Legged Freaks was a shit movie, but it was funny as fuck to watch.
What is it?
Eight-Legged Freaks.
I was indifferent about that movie. It was fun to watch, though.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. It's by no means a good movie, but it's fucking funny.
It's funny as shit.
The spiders sound like Daffy Duck.
That, and then on top of all of that, the way that they killed him was that big fireball.
Yeah, through the mines.
And through the mines. And wasn't one of them like almost like a puppy dog?
Yeah.
And because it was scared, and he was like, oh my god, they have feelings. And then all of them die anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was the trapdoor spider.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of my favorite scenes is that trapdoor spider just skulking, and the dude sees him and just tosses a ladder on the fucking trapdoor. Walks to his car, he's like, ha, and then fucking spider just jumps out of fucking frame and grabs him. Or when the spider bites the fucking deer on the wall and spits it out because it's fucking fake. That was pretty fantastic.
That came out around the time that Evolution came out, I think, didn't it? Who's the dude? Who's the main guy? Who's the main dude?
David Arquette.
That's right, David Arquette from Scream.
Yeah. He wrestled another match. David Arquette wrestled another match. It was a death match.
Did he die?
No. He got severely fucked up, but didn't die.
He wrestled in another match?
In another match.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, during the decline of WCW, they made him the champion.
That's funny.
Yeah. And he wrestled another match recently, and he got fucked up. Busted open, cut all the shit. They had broken glass to his neck, and he freaked out and moved, so it cut his neck. Yeah.
Is WCW still a thing?
No.
It's now what?
It's nothing now.
There's NXT though.
NXT is so Vince McMahon bought WCW during their decline, absorbed WCW, took a lot of their main talent. A lot of them didn't last in the WWE. Very few people did, and now it's nothing. WCW is nothing. Just it's gone.
It was a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the question, Mr. Travis.
Oh, yeah, worst movie.
Worst movie.
I'm trying to think because mainly like if it's a bad movie, it's easy to
I
tell
know.
a lot of times that I just don't finish it.
I know a bad movie that we didn't finish was Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, it was.
I
couldn't go 15. We went 20 minutes into the movie
We gave up.
and couldn't watch the. And I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp's in it. He's got a dick nose.
And like, not only is Johnny Depp in it, but Johnny Depp's daughter is in it. Kevin Smith's
his
daughter
daughter's
is in
in
it.
it.
Kevin Smith isn't in it.
No, I don't think he is.
They had a fucking Nazi bratwurst. Like,
We didn't even make it to that part.
we didn't even get to the part where they showed the Nazi bratwurst, and it didn't.
It was still the setup of the movie when we quit.
Like, it was 20 minutes in, and nothing fucking happened.
Damn.
And I was like, this isn't, like, I get that for, like, Clerks and shit. Clerks 2 was really fast moving for that.
Yeah, well, like the original Clerks, like, it kept going, it kept you engaged, because it's just like a character study, essentially,
Exactly,
and it's too damn entertaining, like, the dialogue.
That's what makes it entertaining.
Like, just like the events that were happening, just like, they were so simple, but it's, oh, man, dude, that was just good writing.
It is, and then that's what I like about him.
Indie film for sure.
That's really what I like about Kevin Smith specifically is that he's a very good character writer. Yeah. He's a very good dialogue writer.
Like I don't want to diss Kevin Smith, but I just couldn't.
Yoga Hosers sucked. Like, I'm gonna say it. Like, it was a shit movie, and it makes me sad because he's one of my favorite fucking writers and directors. Because I love Dogma.
Yeah.
I love Clerks 1 and 2. I loved Mallrats. I loved Chasing Amy.
Yeah,
I loved...
The only two I still need to see is Mallrats and Dogma. It's the only two left I need to see.
Dogma's the shit. Dogma's hilarious.
Those are two
I haven't
probably
seen.
top five. Top five, both of those, yeah.
Because Dogma's funnier than Mallrats. But Mallrats has some funny, like, 90s humor, and you can tell it's 90s humor because it has Jason Lee in it.
Yeah, he's like the lead.
And he's like, holy shit, you're Stan Lee. I saw that clip.
Yeah, and then it's
That's where
just
the whole
great.
chocolate-covered pretzel joke came from.
And we were actually... I felt old as shit because there were some young kids at work that were just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, watch Mallrats, and you'll get it. Simply put, dude puts his hand down his pants, sweaty ass on his hand, hands him a pretzel, and the dude eats it.
That's fucking great.
Because the guy's an asshole.
Like a chocolate-covered pretzel.
Yeah, and he hands him a chocolate-covered
And
pretzel.
dude, the way he's just like licking his
He licks his
fingers.
hands and all kinds of shit. It's gross.
Dude.
And and the funny part about Mallrats is that that's where that whole thing is like it's a boat where he's staring at those 3D things where you're like, if you focus you could see the image, and it's the fat kid is the fat guy from Clerks 2 or Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, where it's like $15 little man, where they're like, hey, can I get
in my hand?
Can I get a nickel bag?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, and it's the fat guy that's with him, that kid. He's the one staring at the picture, trying to figure out what the picture is, and these kids run by, and he goes...
Yeah, don't know that actor's name, but it's like if you saw him, you're like, dude, I've seen him in
who
so
that
much
is.
shit. Like, it's like, because he's been in tons of movies.
He's been in pretty much every Kevin Smith movie, except for the last, like, 2 or 3. But...
Oh, and I'm trying to remember, he was, goddamn, what movie he was like a goth? Like, he was
Yes,
all, he's
yes.
Yeah, what movie was it?
I can't remember.
Wait, the fat guy. I know. Butterfly Effect.
Yes, Butterfly Effect.
I know exactly
the
what you're
roommate.
talking
Yeah,
about.
dude.
Him.
Yeah. And there was that scene where he snapped the pull cue and the guys were like...
Yeah, dude, that guy.
Yeah.
He's in the movie.
But I'm surprised he's not in any shit nowadays, unless he's dead.
Yeah, he was also the fat dude in Power Rangers.
He was. Yeah, that's right.
Skull and
no
something or other.
Different person.
Oh, really?
Totally different person.
All right, fat people look the same to me.
Damn.
Because that
I
guy's
guess
like
age
50.
wouldn't match up because he was pretty young in Mallrats, and Power Rangers was like early 90s.
True.
So yeah, he wouldn't.
He
He either aged really, really well, or it wasn't him.
Yeah. I may have spoken.
So I think John's right. I think
totally different guy.
Yeah.
He looks the same. That's what I'm saying.
He would fit the role if they did like a remake.
They
Maybe he was one of the remake ones. Maybe he like.
But there wasn't those characters.
Ethan Suplee as William Black in Mallrats, and he's this guy.
That's
fucking him. That's Randy from My Name Is Earl.
Randy from Ian.
Yeah. He's been in a shitload of movies.
Yeah, dude. Like that thing is like don't know his name.
John
said his name, but I didn't know.
God damn.
Yeah, dude. I was like, that's not him.
He is not fat anymore.
No.
And he's in.
He looks like
shit.
a metal rocker now.
Yeah. That's the dude that our friend Mike named me after because he said I looked like him. I was like, awesome, thank you for boosting my confidence.
And now he knows his name, Ethan Supple.
Yep.
Suplee?
Suplee.
But
there's a name to the face.
He's a really good actor, like surprisingly a really good actor because he can do a lot of different shit and he wasn't afraid to do different shit. But the funniest part about one of the funnier parts about that movie is that everybody that passes by while he's staring at the picture is that everyone just like looks at it and goes, "Hey, it's a tugboat. Hey, it's a tugboat. Hey, it's a sailboat. Hey, it's a boat. It's whatever, some variation." And the two kids, it's like they say some fancy name for boat, and he goes, "No, it's a boat." And he goes, "This is a boat. That's what that means. Is that's a boat." And Easter or something about the Easter Bunny isn't real. Mm-hmm. And then he screams at him, and then they fucking run away. And it's great. I love that movie. It's gonna be a bloodbath whenever they're on the escalator.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Jason Lee.
And there's gonna be a Jay and Silent Bob second movie, the remake, where they make fun of remakes. The entire plot of the movie is them going to Hollywood to stop the remake of.
Is that what it's gonna be?
Yeah, they're making fun of a remake while making a remake.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was them going to Hollywood so that a movie wasn't made about them.
Blunt Man and
Chronic. And now they're doing a remake of their first movie, going and doing the same shit
to stop a Blunt Man and Chronic remake.
Remake of them being,
That's what the plot's gonna be.
Which is, I mean, Jason Mewes.
Jason Mewes.
And, is it Mewes? Yeah, Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith reprising their roles, but
it was like Jason Mewes' idea too to do that second movie. And he's wanted to do another Jay and Silent Bob.
He never wanted to stop it. The thing that was supposed to happen after Jay and Silent Bob was supposed to be the end of Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
But they came out with Clerks 2, and then they were like, sorry, we lied. Because at the very, very end of Jay and Silent Bob, if you remember Jay and Silent... No, I'm a liar. Yeah, at the end of Jay and Silent Bob, I think is what it was.
They go and kick the shit out of everybody who's talking shit.
Well, yeah, and then at the end, after that, there was credits that roll.
Yeah.
And when the credits
say
roll,
like what happened.
And then there's a book that closes, and God from Dogma, which is Alanis Morissette.
I never saw that.
Runs through like this empty void, and closes the book, and it's supposed to be the end of Jay and Silent Bob.
I've never seen that scene.
It's at the very, very end. It's like after the credits roll and shit.
I didn't even know there was a post-credit scene to that movie.
And nobody knew about it, and he was like, if you stay long enough, that's what happens. And nobody knew that shit.
I need that movie.
I have it somewhere.
We need to just watch that. Just that part. That's the only thing I need to see.
It might be at the end of Jay and Silent Bob, or it might be at the end of Dogma. I'm pretty sure it's at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Because he talked about it. Jay and Silent Bob was supposed to be the last Jay and Silent Bob movie, and then Clerks 2 came out in like 2004. Yeah. And I got it as a birthday gift for my 15th birthday. And I watched it. I love that movie. Like, I could watch it any day. Mm-hmm. And it feels, still to this day, it still feels refreshing to watch. If you find it at any point in time, like on TV or as a DVD or Blu-ray, it still looks good.
And what's going to be weird is seeing him as Silent Bob, not fat.
True.
Unless you put him in a fat suit, because he's not fat anymore.
They did when he lost weight. They did when he lost weight. When he first started losing weight, before he had his heart attack, they put him in a fat suit. They put a wig on and all that shit.
Yeah. The wig is understandable.
Yeah, but the fat suit, unless they do a skinny version of Silent Bob,
right?
They never said he was supposed to be a fat guy. True. He was just a fat guy.
It was just him because he was fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat.